I'm Matt McClure.
And I'm Francesca Maxime, and this is Currents. 7 months later, what's being done to rebuild earthquake-ravaged Haiti?
For such a complex and serious disaster, it doesn't get fixed in the first few months or in the first year. It's a long-term process.
Plus, some Brooklyn priests who are there give us a closer look.
The life in the camp is not easy, but our mission really is to bring hope to the people.
And from Haiti, Bishop DiMarzio gives us his powerful eyewitness account.
I'm glad I came to see for myself, to be able to explain to others, also talk to people who might have something to do with facilitating and moving this a lot more quickly.
Well, good evening. Thanks so much for joining us. It's been 7 months. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
Back on January 12th, the massive earthquake struck Haiti, killing nearly 250,000 people and leaving more than 180,000 homes uninhabitable.
Tonight, we bring you a very personal glimpse inside this tragedy, as it was seen by some of Brooklyn's own priests, including Bishop DiMarzio. They were part of a Catholic delegation that recently visited the island nation. And as we're about to find out, what they saw brought to mind the words of another local bishop, whose words from last January now seem prophetic.
Even when the headlines are done, even when the camera crews are gone, don't forget Haiti. They need
7 months after the earthquake that devastated Haiti on January 12th, conditions in the country have not significantly improved. Since the disaster destroyed most of the housing in the capital city of Port-au-Prince, many residents have moved into tents like these, with no running water or electricity, and with just 3 latrines serving thousands. On top of that, the Haitian government now restricts food distribution in the camps.
There are 54,000 people living in this camp. They're only asking for only one thing: food distribution. Food distribution, the people are so hungry, the people are so hungry.
And where are her 7 children sleeping? Here on the ground, where they could all too easily be swamped by floodwaters. The conditions of these camps deeply concerned Brooklyn Bishop Nicholas DiMarzio, who recently visited Haiti to offer his support and see what progress had been made.
I just got an email from one of our parishes who donated quite a bit of money for the kind of parish they were. And the pastor saying the people are complaining because they're getting messages from their relatives that nothing is being done. What happened to all the money that was collected?
Scott Campbell, country representative for Catholic Relief Services in Haiti, says the money is being put to good use.
The money that we've received from parishes across the United States has been used to feed almost 900,000 people in the earthquake-affected area, which equals more than 10 million meals.
But wreckage and debris still fill Port-au-Prince and surrounding cities. And for many, the promise of a new dawn for Haiti seems distant.
You know, there's a limit to everybody's patience, and people, I think, want to see what they have been calling for since the earthquake, new beginning for Haiti. And of course, we're looking at the beginning of a political campaign, and certainly politicians can use the slow recovery to their advantage.
I think one of the main problems that there is, the city, the government is looking for a master plan where they can start to look at how to redo the city.
When you have people who are not under proper shelter, it's never fast enough.
There's basically little huts that are made of plywood which have tarps over them, and that's it. Catholic Relief Services' major commitment is to rebuild the housing, not just temporary housing, but permanent housing.
What's important for such a complex and serious disaster is that it doesn't get fixed in the first few months or in the first year. It's a long-term process. It will take for the next 5, and in certain respects, 10 years.
You're in a country where everything has to be imported, all building materials. There's not even sand here that's of the quality needed.
There are signs of improvement. The transitional housing could address many of the issues. And for people who have lost their livelihoods, programs like Cash for Work provide jobs and supply money for necessities. But Haiti continues to suffer, and as Archbishop Dolan predicted, media coverage has waned.
the world has so many things happening all the time. It's easy to lose focus, easy to lose concentration.
What we have to do is to keep Haiti in the minds and on the radar screens of our people.
I just think that the recovery is going to be very long in coming.
In the meantime, many people, like this woman, are placing their faith in the one thing that has never failed them. And we will have much more on Haiti coming up later in the show.
But stay tuned. When Currents returns, we'll have the day's headlines, including Ramadan begins amid tough times in one Muslim country and amid controversy that is continued over the proposed mosque at Ground Zero. Welcome back to Currents. I'm Francesca Maxime.
And I'm Matt McClure. Coming up later, he just got back from his trip to Haiti, and Bishop DiMarzio will give us his eyewitness account of the situation there.
But first, let's turn to the day's headlines. The Islamic holy month of Ramadan began yesterday, but a time that is usually festive is anything but for flood survivors in the heavily Muslim country of Pakistan. During Ramadan, Muslims fast from sunup to sundown in order to control their desires and show empathy for the poor. Many flood victims in Pakistan, though, have no choice but to go without food. Flooding began after heavy rains 2 weeks ago. 1,500 people have been killed, and the UN says 7 million more need help, including food, water, and emergency medical care. Reports say Catholic Church charities in Pakistan stepped up relief efforts today to provide some of that support. Meantime, back in this country, a group of religious leaders said Wednesday they are saddened by some of the rhetoric surrounding plans to build an Islamic community center and mosque 2 blocks from the World Trade Center site. More than 3 dozen Catholic, Protestant, Muslim, and Jewish leaders released a statement saying some opponents of the center have been fueling ugly stereotypes about Islam and demeaning the vast majority of Muslims committed to peace. The statement comes just ahead of some provocative new ads that are set to appear on New York City buses. CNN's Mary Snow spoke with people on both sides of this debate.
Coming to some New York City buses, this ad showing an image of 9/11 in one corner, in the other, what's being called a mega mosque. Before the MTA, New York City's transit agency, cleared the ad, the woman behind it sued. Pamela Geller, a conservative blogger and part of a group called Stop Islamization of America, says initially there were objections over the imagery.
I think New Yorkers will get upset, though, with the tower, the plane, and the flames.
I think that that's a piece of American history. Do they get upset with Pearl Harbor or Iwo Jima? I mean, if this is offensive, if just showing an image of 9/11 is offensive, then what is a 15-story mega mosque looking down on the cemetery where they're still finding human remains?
But that's not an accurate picture. The actual site is not adjacent to Ground Zero, but 2 blocks away from it. And the mosque within will be one part of a larger community center that will also include a performing arts center and gym. Geller says she raised $8,000 on the web to put the ads on about 2 dozen buses with the aim of sparking debate. And if anyone is familiar with that, it's Azim Khan of the Islamic Circle of North America. In recent years, his group ran ads on city buses and trains to educate people about Islam. He questions the motives of the anti-mosque ads.
What are you expecting to happen?
Right, well, we know that this is not just about New York City. This is happening all over the country. The type of campaigns that we run are to promote tolerance and dialogue. These are the complete opposite. They promote fear and hatred.
Khan points to recent protests in Temecula, California against a proposed mosque site, and another in a town south of Nashville, Tennessee, with people voicing fears they'll be used by Islamic extremists. After protests held in Florida, members of one mosque want to make sure people understand what's going on inside. They're streaming sermons online as a way of showing they have nothing to hide. But it comes against a backdrop of growing opposition to the planned mosque near Ground Zero. A new CNN Opinion Research Corporation poll finds 68% of Americans oppose it.
As people get to know us, as we're here for a longer amount of time, like other communities, eventually we will be accepted. People want Islam and Muslims to be the boogeyman right now. There's a big disconnect there. That's just not the reality of things.
Well, that is CNN's Mary Snow reporting. Governor David Paterson said yesterday developers turned down his offer to help them find a new location for the Islamic Center. Well, if you thought Arizona's controversial new immigration law was strict, Florida's Attorney General says you ain't seen nothing yet. Bill McCollum is the Sunshine State's top legal official, and he's also a Republican candidate for governor. He unveiled a bill yesterday that would require immigrants to carry proper documentation at all times or possibly spend 20 days in jail. McCollum's proposal would also mean harsher penalties for undocumented immigrants than legal immigrants for the same crimes. Reports say Florida Republicans are divided on that issue. Well, the lawyer in a sexual abuse lawsuit against the Vatican dropped his case this week, but attorneys say 2 other suits against the central leadership of the Catholic Church will continue. The lawyer who filed the other cases told the Associated Press the collapse of the Kentucky case should not be seen as a setback for his clients in Oregon and Wisconsin. Like the Kentucky case, the Oregon suit seeks to prove that priests are employees of the Holy See, and therefore the Church is accountable for their actions. A canon law expert told the AP that that would be very difficult to do.
Well, the clergy sex abuse scandal is something that is sure to come up when Pope Benedict makes his much-anticipated trip to the UK next month. The trip has sparked some controversy among British people, but as we hear from Rome Reports, there is plenty of anticipation, too.
Final details are being worked out for the Pope's historic visit to the UK in September, and shops are already bringing out an array of souvenirs to bring attention to the events and offer a unique memento to celebrate them. The items include the usual keychains, candles, shirts, raincoats, cups with the papal coat of arms, or images of Cardinal Newman who will be beatified during the visit. The online store www.papalvisitstore.com is offering all these products and many more. They can be purchased online from anywhere in the world. It's a collection of souvenirs capturing what will be an unforgettable papal journey to the United Kingdom.
The couple that prays together stays together. That's a little bit of a play on an old adage that a new study finds could actually be true. The study, published in the August issue of the Journal of Marriage and Family, shows that statement could especially be true for African Americans. It found 40% of black couples regularly attend church together, while around 30% of Hispanics and whites do the same. African American couples were also found to be more likely to pray and study scripture together at home. And the study also found that couples who do not attend religious services together regularly tend to be less happy about their relationships. Well, a South Carolina man is happy to be home after a long journey across the country. But this was no ordinary road trip. He says he was trying to spread the word of God by walking from coast to coast while carrying a cross on his back. Nate Stewart has the story.
I said, Lord, that is crazy. I don't know if I can do that.
Whether right or wrong, a person's road in life is full of choices.
I've definitely made a couple wrong turns along the way.
After spending 5 years in the Marine Corps, serving a tour in Iraq,
I'd say the whole journey has been about 2,500 miles. And I've walked about 2,000 of that, probably taken a ride for about 500.
The choices in front of Tobias Steinmetz were clear.
So I bought a one-way ticket to Los Angeles, flew over, and started walking the next day with this cross.
Up and down hills, mountains, valleys, and desert, the 25-year-old has been walking.
So I've been walking almost 3 months. It's been about 87 days.
Over his shoulder, an 8-foot, 40-pound pine wood cross, spreading a message.
When you're going down the road and you see a man with a cross, you know, it just is a reminder of their faith.
To an outsider, the easiest question is why.
Because we all have a calling on our lives, and we just need to step out of our comfort zone sometimes to pursue that calling.
Difficult at times not knowing where he will stay or where his next meal is coming from. Tobias says it's the American people who have gotten him this far down his road.
I thought I'd be sleeping outside every night, hungry every day. Here it is 3 months later, and I've never missed a meal. Most nights I've stayed in hotels, or people have blessed me with hotel rooms.
2,500 miles of faith, choices Tobias has made on his road of life, whether wrong or right.
When it comes to God, I've been in the right place at the right time, and I've seen amazing times of ministry coming out from making a wrong turn as well.
That is Nate Stewart reporting there. Steinmetz says he plans to attend seminary in the future. And finally, the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops honored 3 pro-life leaders this week, and a Queens priest was among them. Monsignor Philip Riley is the founder of the Helpers of God's Precious Infants. We featured him and his organization before here on Currents. Since 1989, he's been leading sidewalk prayer vigils and offering counseling outside New York abortion clinics. But before that, Monsignor Riley fought the legalization of abortion in the state of New York before the Roe v. Wade ruling, and he helped organize the first March for Life in Washington back in 1974. And Monsignor Riley and the other honorees were presented with People of Life awards at a ceremony in Houston, Texas earlier this week.
And stay tuned, there's much more Currents coming up.
Just ahead, bringing it all home. Brooklyn priests in Haiti tell us what they're seeing.
A lot about the spirit of the Church of Brooklyn, a spirit of understanding, a missionary spirit.
Welcome back as we look back at the 7 months since the devastating earthquake on the island nation of Haiti. Now, earlier on in the show, we saw the state of that country. Homes and towns have crumbled to the ground, and families are living in tent cities.
But as we have also discovered, the Diocese of Brooklyn has launched a special program enabling Haitian American priests to spend time in their homeland.
The Diocese of Brooklyn has began a pastoral project where we have invited our Haitian-speaking priests to come at a month at a time, 6 weeks, to be present in the camps.
Be careful here. Bonjour. You know that in this camp, it was the first time that a bishop has come. And that bishop, the first bishop that came to that camp, is the Bishop of Brooklyn. It is Bishop DiMarzio. That is a lot about the spirit of the Church of Brooklyn, a spirit of understanding, a missionary spirit.
Bien content de venir parce que nous fin parler là pour parler avant bien content de venir parce que nous vraiment un problème là. Puis le problème malheur autant là des pas gagner parce que ouais ça petit à petit malheur là. On voit parce que
it goes beyond your dances that you go and preach and be Jesus for the people.
I am very happy that Bishop DiMarzio has the idea to send Haitian priests to help Haitian people.
It is a great experience for me to work here with these people and to address the problems, to help them and to share with them my hope in God.
Vous connaissez la journée, ça fait chaud en pile. Dans la nuit, les glaces, de l'eau a coulé sur eux. Donc, je ne suis pas capable de faire parce que les cérémonies moins économiques, ils ne sont pas capables de grand goût. Parce que nous avons besoin d'activités tant que manger bouillon, et soit tant que nous avons besoin de boire pour faire caille bouillon.
The life in a camp is not easy. It is hard. It is all kind of problem we have here. You will see them, but our mission really is to bring hope to the people.
The normal pastoral work is difficult because of churches that are destroyed, or even priests that are somewhat disoriented still. But somebody coming from outside recognizes that people need pastoral support, they need services, and our priests are starting to do that now, and we're supporting that project with some of the collection that was given for that purpose.
Our mission was to pacify, to bring peace to these groups so that they can work together to receive what a Catholic relief service will bring to them.
We are here to help people, to pray with the Haitian people, to bring them consolation, to bring them hope for God. And we have to celebrate Mass for them, to celebrate baptism for them, to celebrate wedding for them, to celebrate the sacrament of penance for them.
So we hope that that Lother ministry will make a difference, and we can see that a lot of good thing has been happening already.
Well, stay tuned just ahead. Amid the tragedy, there are signs of hope. When we return, Brooklyn's own Bishop DiMarzio gives us his eyewitness from Haiti.
We don't see people very sad. I think they're as happy as they can be, but they need help. They can't do it by themselves.
Finally tonight, the crisis in Haiti has affected many people who have visited there, including our own Brooklyn Bishop DiMarzio.
We leave you tonight with his personal impressions from his journey there last month, as he experienced firsthand the devastation of Haiti, as well as the resilience of her people. Bishop DiMarzio is tonight's eyewitness.
If the man on the moon came here and said, "What happened?" I said, "Nothing happened. There was an earthquake and they didn't do very much." The reticence to make a plan that may not work for a long term is keeping anything from happening, which is not good. Although perhaps 25% of the debris has been removed, 75% is still there, which is rather discouraging to people to see. It's quite a bit of inconvenience and real suffering in some places. It's not ever easy to see tragedies. I've been involved in numerous tragedies. I work with refugee situations. I work with earthquake situations. I'm kind of not surprised by what I saw, kind of expected it. It still makes you sad. We lost over 200,000 lives, and you have a city that's pretty much half destroyed. The relief agencies, Catholic Relief Services, where most of our money was donated, is doing its best in supporting the life in these so-called camps. We visited an orphanage today, and the conditions really were not good. Thank God there's been no epidemics.
Okay, this is our space. We're making this for the children, for the kids who's living at the camp.
You don't see people very sad. I think they're as happy as they can be. People are in many places praying and near destroyed churches, just to be close to where the church was. They have a deep, very deep faith, and that's something that you need in times like this. I'm glad I came to see for myself, to be able to explain to others, to try to also talk to people who might have something to do with facilitating moving this a lot more quickly, but they need help. They can't do it by themselves, and they're in a position that they're open to taking assistance so that they can get themselves back on their own feet.
It's just so heartbreaking to see some of that, but also you feel that sense of hope too that we talked about. I mean, you know, when the kids, you know, singing and laughing and dancing, and you know, the adults playing the drums and everything, and there is that sense of hope. But as we talked about earlier in the show, in one of the pieces that we did earlier on, it's like that hope and the hope for a new day in Haiti seems kind of distant to a lot of people when you look and you see all these people still living in tents and still see the buildings crumble to the ground.
In cases of extreme poverty, and in this case, in addition to the poverty, just the fact that, as he said, half of the whole city has been destroyed as well, a lot of times that hope and that faith is really all there is to cling to, right. And it can be taken one day at a time, and I think that that's what they do, is continue to just move forward one day at a time and hope for the best and can keep on with their faith. Well, that is it for tonight. Coming up tomorrow, we'll hear from Bishop DiMarzio once again as we head into the deep to talk with him about Mary, just ahead of a major feast day.
But until then, remember, we're always online. currentsny.net is the website. You can also check us out on Facebook. If you have an idea for a story, or if you just want to get in touch with us, drop us a line, okay? It's drop us a line. That's our email address at currentsny.net. Until next time, I'm Matt McClure.
And I'm Francesca Maxime. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great night.